Hello, and welcome to the first official episode of Mr.G Reads. So for this episode, I'm actually going to show you the books that I'm planning on doing my first series of videos on, so that you can know what to look forward to. Now, the first of these books is a project that I had actually backed on Kickstarter and got the book published, and so it's actually pretty interesting like that. I actually had an active role in getting this book out there. The title of the book is The Fibonacci Murders, and the name of the author, forgive me if I butcher it, is Dale E. Lehman, not sure. So the book itself is actually a mystery novel, and I'll read the back matter on the book, and then I will move on to the next one. So, I start with 0. Nobody dies today. The strange note delivered to Lieutenant Detective Rick Pellar of the Howard County, Maryland Police was just the beginning. Soon, Pellar and his colleagues find themselves chasing a cunning killer who is basing his crimes on the Fibonacci Series, a mathematical sequence in which each number is the sum of the preceding two. And the only thing Pellar knows for sure is that the series never ends. So, murder mystery novel. We have a serial killer, we have a modus operandi, we have, all that stuff. Really interesting read. I actually read it, and I'm actually working on helping to get the sequel backed on Kickstarter as well. So, this one is coming up. Now next, with the recent success of the film Jurassic World, I thought it might be nice for us to go back to where it all started. And we'll actually look at the first little bit of Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. So again, lots of you may be familiar with the first movie. Some of you may be familiar with the novel, but I want to read you this because the novel is dramatically different from the movie, as no doubt many of you are aware of. So, the back matter. An astonishing technique for recovering and cloning dinosaur DNA has been discovered. Now, mankind's most thrilling fantasies have come true. Creatures extinct for eons roam Jurassic Park with their awesome presence and profound mystery, and all the world can visit them for a price. Until something goes wrong. In Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton taps all his mesmerizing talent and scientific brilliance to create his most electrifying techno-thriller. So this is actually not the first Michael Crichton novel I've ever read, but one thing I will say about his particular writing style is that it actually blurs the line between fiction and reality so profoundly that you end up fact-checking things because you don't know where the reality ends and the fiction begins. Very good. I look forward to sharing this one with you. Now next, in the spirit of Halloween, since it is October, whether or not it'll be still Halloween when I get the video out is a whole other story, but I actually wanted to share one of the short stories with you from Stephen King's collection, Everything is Eventual. Now, I'll be choosing one of the short stories from this collection to share with you, so let's read the back matter and see what it has to say. International best-selling author Stephen King is in terrifying top form with his first collection of short stories in almost a decade. Now, this was at the time of publication. Stephen King has since put out a few other collections, so grain of salt. In this spine-chilling compilation, King takes readers down a road less traveled, for good reason. In the blockbuster ebook, Riding the Bullet, bad table service turns bloody when you stop in for lunch at the Gotham Cafe. And terror becomes deja vu all over again when you get that feeling you can only say what it is in French. Along with 11 more stories that will keep you awake until daybreak. Enter a nightmarish mindscape of unrelenting horror and shocking revelations that could only come from the imagination of the greatest storyteller of our time. So I'm not too sure which of the stories I'll read in this. There's a few in here that actually really hit me when I read them, so I'll probably pick one of those. But very interesting. I look forward to sharing this one with you as well. Now, the final book that I want to do in my first run actually holds a lot of personal value for me, because this book was actually put out by someone very close to me. It was self-published, and etc., etc. It was quite the accomplishment, and I'm very proud to know the person responsible for this book. So the name of the book is Justified. It's really tricky to get a hold of. You'll actually have to email the author in order to get a copy if you are interested. I don't think it's available as an ebook, and I don't think it's available as an audiobook. So if you are interested, you'll need to contact the author at... I don't remember. She has an email. But the name of the book is Justified, and it is by Crystal Waters. Now, this book, much like the Fibonacci Murders is a mystery, don't think this starts a trend of me doing strictly mystery novels for this, or more mystery novels. I actually have some fantasy and sci-fi I would like to get into as well. Actually, Jurassic Park is a sci-fi. But before I digress much further, let's look at the back matter. Leona Langston had her future planned out. Become an addictions counselor, fall in love, start a family. What she didn't realize was that every choice she made came at a price. Sean Grant was a handsome, suave businessman who swept her off her feet. Giving herself to him for the first time, she was sure she had the man of her dreams to spend the rest of her life with. How wrong she had been. When he disappears from her life without so much as a phone call, Leona finds herself alone, pregnant, and facing decisions she was in no way ready to make. 2 years later, Sean walks back into her life, and Leona surprises herself by marrying him. It doesn't take long for her to learn the true meaning of evil in the form of her husband. In no way does her white picket fence fantasy match her reality. Leona is eventually pushed too far and makes a decision that can't be reversed. Does she regret her actions and suffer the consequences? Or is she justified in retaliating? So I'm excited to get to this one to share it with you as well. But those are the first 4 books that I'm looking to share with you. And after this video, the format is going to be a little bit different. Instead of just seeing me read the book, which would be boring, I'm actually probably going to record my voice reading it and probably overlay it with images or videos or of some sort to help the reading, or at least make it pretty while you listen. So that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for paying attention, and I look forward to reading for you.